What's up everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be going over how I run Gnomeregan. I know a lot of people find the dungeon really confusing, and I hope by the time you finish watching this video you will be less afraid of Gnomer. It is not as maze-like as I think you all think it is. But real quick before we get into that, I would like to go over some of the loot you can get. Like, why do you care about Gnomeregan, right? Well, there are not only really expensive schematics in there, but there's also quite a bit of blues that are specific to Gnomeregan. So real quick, I have these up, so let's go over them. Petrol Spill leggings, they have a region market value of 29k. You have Mech Builder's overalls, which are just insane. And I've actually recently gotten a couple of these too. So 123k region. How crazy is that? You have these Hotshot Pilot gloves, which are like the holy grail of loot here. If you get these, they are worth a whole 416k region. Now, unfortunately, we kind of got started with the good stuff. Now we have some boring ones. We have this Gizmotron Mega Chopper, 24k. We have the High-Tech Supergun, 8.4k region. We have the Oscillating Power Hammer, 9.7k about. Supercharger Battle Axe, about 11k, and then Vibroblade. So as you can see, there are quite a lot of blues to get out of Gnomer. So without further ado, let's get started, guys. Let's get started. And one more thing, just before we got started running the dungeon, I just wanted to briefly point out, for Alliance, it is very simple to get here. What you can do is, now that they took away the ports, you can port from Stormwind to Borealis, and then from Borealis, you can actually port back to Ironforge and fly down here. Now for Horde, it's a little bit more complicated than that. You can actually use, there's a teleporter in the Gromgol base down in Stranglethorn Vale. So I would highly recommend you go fly down that way, make your way there, and use that teleporter and get into Gnomeregan that way. Alright guys, back to the video. Okay, so let's quickly hop into the dungeon. So as always, I run this on my speed druid. I recommend, if you have one, run the same, because as I run this, as you know, druids get a reduced fall damage. I tried to make it onto this wheel, this toggle right here. It doesn't always happen. But anyway, I don't generally kill that boss. I make a straight shot for over here. However, I just want to point out, while we are in this vicinity, if you see we are facing this way toward this pipe here, if you were to actually go into this room, the dormitory, and head up this way, there's actually a vendor. So if you're about on run 6 and your bags are completely full, head into that area right there, and you can sell before you continue the normal route. So right now we are headed into that pipe, as I pointed out on the map. Generally you can swipe, and occasionally you will get these mechanized sentries that are on the lower level. If you can't reach them, no problem, just use your Moonfire and you should be able to get them. And I personally, like I said in my previous videos, I have engineering so that I can use the Looterang. However, these mobs are close enough, you should be able to get them with your AoE loot. So just a couple more of these guys, and then we are on to the next section. Now, what's important in running dungeons is to always make sure that you get your 10 runs in under an hour. So for Gnomer, since it is a large dungeon, you do want to make sure that you under that 6-minute mark. So because I have a speed set, I do actually run this at full circle right here. If you do not have a speed set, I would recommend, instead of going to the left, go right and head up the ramp. But for now, we are going to head to the left, kill all of these over here. And I'm a gold farmer. I can't help it. We gotta loot, guys. We gotta loot. You don't know what we're gonna get here. So let's quickly kill all of this area. I do try to save my Tiger Dash for the way back, but I do try, like in this portion right here, I'll get my roots going because I do have Sephuz. I use my Mass Entanglement, so I can get a nice little boost there. So I boost my way all the way up this way, and then on the way back, because I tend to not leave mobs up when I have my Bear Tatar, leave myself stranded, I like to use my dash on the way back. So right here is where I'll use my dash. And I will head up this ramp here. And this is where it really becomes important to be a feral druid. I will generally, instead of grabbing this parachute that is right here and this extra parachutes box, I just hop my way down. So nothing too good there. So I tried to, as I hop my way down, you see there was this pack of mobs right here. Depending on how far it takes you to get to this area, they could be anywhere in this room, and I always try to get that pack of mobs. Now we are dropping down into this portion right here. So what I do is I kill this top guys, those ones right there, and then I head down and get these two mobs here before I head down actually into this cavern, this trench right here. Now I run down this trench, and then as we run our way back up, we're actually going to come up on this side here. So let's quickly finish this area. There really is not a whole lot. These guys here, they do actually drop, and I don't believe we've gotten one yet, but they drop a white chest item that a lot of people like to sell on the auction house. It does have a relatively decent sell rate, and it's about 1,000 gold, I'd say, region market. But you see here, he has, if you look at all the things, there are tons of schematics that you can get from him, and he will always drop some sort of green here. But let's head back up this way. As you can see, we just finished Mech Engineer Thermoplug, and we are headed back on the right hand side now. We are headed back up north. We are going to go to the side portion of the dungeon that I don't think a lot of people normally run, but it's actually where you get some decent stuff as well. So let's just kill this pack here. And the whole reason we killed that first pack there is because we are turning right here, and the first pack there was right about at that area there. So I didn't want to have to run back up and create more work for myself, because as you guys recall, we are trying to do this in under 6 minutes. And I did slow this down a little bit for you all, so I probably will be over the 6-minute mark for this run in particular, but I try to always stay under 6 minutes. So once again, in this room, there's also another pack that I try to get. They are right here. For once, I actually have timed this very nice. Oh, just kidding. We missed this elevator. So generally when I miss the elevator, I just kind of go on this side and I try to kill at least one mob. But we hop on the elevator and we are headed up to this next level here. And I always make a left. You guys can make a right if you really want. But I head and I do this entire loop right here, and then I come back to right where I'm at now. So let's do that loop. And there is generally always a chest. Perfect timing actually on that. There's generally always a chest right here. So we are just unlocking this with my scroll of unlocking. If you guys do not have professions yet on your speed druid, I highly recommend you get inscription. I feel like out of all of the ones that, like the blacksmithing and jewel crafting also have abilities to unlock chests, but I feel like the scroll of unlocking is the cheapest of the bunch. It's generally around 2 to 10 gold on my server, and probably around 14 gold region market. This guy also drops a schematic. Unfortunately, he did not drop anything for us. And we are just about to hit back where we were before. So as you see, that was the elevator that took us up. So we're going to head right here, open this door, and then we are actually headed out the back entrance of Gnomeregan. So we'll just continue to kill these mobs. And it really is a straight shot. You thankfully cannot get lost right here. So we just have a few more mobs to go. And then that's it for Gnomer. Hopefully it wasn't that confusing, guys. It's a very, very straight shot, I feel like. But that's it. That's the back entrance right there. And now actually, if you hop back in here, for example, we will restart the dungeon right here. So we just restarted it. We reset it. So if you hop back in, it actually takes you back to the entrance. So it's just a gigantic loop, very continuous. If you wanted to run it on a different class, you could, because it's just a continuous loop. And if you wanted, I mean, you would have to use a parachute, of course. But overall, I hope that was helpful for you guys. Gnomeregan hopefully is not as scary any longer. Alright, but that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching my Gnomeregan guide. If you liked this video and found it useful, then please consider subscribing and hitting that bell button for alerts on all new content. And if you don't want to wait for new content, I actually am on Twitch as well. I stream 5 days a week, and I do Ludoraiser challenges, and I also give away pets on the weekend. So I hope to see you guys there. Once again, thank you so much for watching.